I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little girl, them. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset.
Maize and Blue Nation, it's Tom Brady. I co-founded Autograph with one mission in mind: change the fan experience for the better. That's why I'm excited to announce the release of a new app that recognizes the biggest Michigan fans. The Autograph Fandom app gives you access to the best Michigan content, fan challenges, and exclusive rewards for diehard Wolverines, all for doing the things you already do, like listening to this podcast. Head over to the Apple App Store and search for Autograph Rewarding Fans and download today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Maize, Blue, and Gold show. Without the gold right now, however, I am joined by the good folks from Scarlet and Blue show. To my right, I guess, if you're watching, Bryce. How you doing, sir?
Hey, doing well. Excited to be on here, man. Big fan of the show. Again, honored to be on. Honored to put Garrison in his place here. I have to deal with him most of the time just on the Scarlet and Blue show, yapping about Ohio State, and it's 1v1. Excited to go 2v1 here, and really
absolutely
put him in his place.
Put him in his place. And below us, of course, where he belongs. Fan of that team down south. Whoa. Garrison, how are you?
I'm doing fine, man. Been a good day. Can't complain. Yeah, I would actually like Ryan to come here. It'd be nice to have my little brother Notre Dame over here to help me. So, yeah, man, let's get started.
Absolutely, man. Today we are going to be reacting to the college football playoff committee's rankings. We're going to give our hot takes and obviously a short pick'ems list, along with some other things. Before we get started, I want you guys to be sure to subscribe to Scarlet and Blue. You can see it's in the comment section there, youtube.com/@ScarletBlueShow. Be sure to check them out there and give them a subscribe. It's a great show, great channel. Much of the stuff that you like as Michigan fans over there as well. And you get to make fun of Garrison here when he has crazy takes. Anyway, quickly, I'll run through some of the comments. Shout out to my guy, Antoine. Be sure to follow him on Twitter. Antoine is also the moderator for this channel. So give Antoine a shout.
Wait a second, Antoine. Hold on a second. I don't think Antoine knows who I am. Antoine, you know that Buckeye that's always in the comments on a lot of shows you like to watch? That's me, man.
That's me. Number 3, it's disrespect. Absolutely. It's always disrespectful. Respectfully. Every excuse. All right. I'm upset. Justin, of course, we're all upset. I'm upset. By the way, yeah, I should probably coin that before Drake does. But anyway, let's get to it. We'll start with the reaction to the CFP rankings. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that the other state is the number 1 team in America, according to the CFP, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and then, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. And with Washington and Oregon at 5 and 6. I'll start with you, Bryce. What was your take on the entire rankings and then that top 4 or top 6? Let's go top 6.
Yeah, I think I get the Bucks being at 1. We gave out our rankings before they were announced, and I had them at number 2. I actually had Florida State at number 1. I think Florida State has 2 really solid wins with the LSU on the neutral site week 1, and then at Clemson, or I guess a couple weeks later on the road at Clemson. I know that game wasn't at night, but it was still on the road. And Clemson is not the Clemson of old. Dabo's yelling at radio callers right now, but they're still, I think they still have the talent there. I think that's still a good win. Bucks have obviously good wins at Notre Dame, but you can argue if Notre Dame had all 11 guys on the field, they ain't winning that game. And you had a good win against Penn State. And we'll see how good Penn State is. I think they got a tough one this weekend anyways, which they could lose. So not surprised. I'm just happy Michigan's in it. There was part of me as a really potentially sad Michigan fan thinking that they wouldn't be included because of everything going on. They're in. Right. We're good. Let's go win a natty.
Absolutely. Garrison, same question to you. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, just like Bryce, mine was a little bit different. I had Georgia 1, Florida State 2, Ohio State 3, and you guys 4. But I mean, like you said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I understand why we're number 1. Sure. Like I told you, man, I don't have any problems with this outside of USC being ranked. I think one thing I did take away from it, though, there was that group of 1-loss teams where we're talking from number 6 to number 13. I think those are all teams. Now, of course, I think there's some of them that won't be able to play their win. I don't think Louisville's that good to play themselves in. Missouri, we're going to find out a lot about you this weekend. But I think it was that big group of teams. I think it's really interesting how that falls out. And then, I mean, there's Oregon, man, because I think I think I could talk someone into making Oregon the number 1 team in the nation. I think I could talk someone into it. I really like what they're doing over there. So
number 1.
That's what's coming. Yeah, I think they're that good. I think they're that good.
Okay. And that's just from obviously overall football team and what you've seen from them this year, outside of them losing, by the way, to the team ranked right ahead of them. Right. But I will concede that Washington has not, since that win, Washington hasn't looked that impressive. Mm-hmm. Oregon has been more impressive, but they lost to Washington.
Well, let's think about that loss, though, okay? You lost by 3. You had a chance to tie it at the end, mind you. And we all know Vegas doesn't always have, like, what's going on the field has nothing to do with Vegas. But when you're at home, you automatically get 3 points. So if I'm just going off that math and that logic on a neutral field, you're taking Oregon. Your coach made dumb decisions in that game. You're missing 2 of your starting DBs. I think that team's fully healthy. They're beating Washington. If I take those 2 teams on neutral, and Penix didn't play as good as Bo. He didn't. So I mean,
in that game,
I think Bo played better than Penix in that game.
I think it was razor thin. I might give Bo the slight edge. It is. Yeah. All right. So the biggest issue, we spoke a little off camera, Garrison. The biggest issue you had really was USC being number 20. USC being on the list, period, was your issue, right? And I think I don't really have a problem outside. I think USC at number 20 is high.
You ever seen
the other state being number 1. Fire? Yeah.
I was asking, you ever seen Crap on Fire? That's USC.
Yeah. No, I get it.
That is.
They haven't been too impressive. I will concede that as well. As a Michigan fan, and prepare yourself, Michigan fans, I think Ohio State at number 1 is okay. What I didn't like, though, is if you make Ohio State number 1, how you don't make Florida State number 2. As Georgia has played to this point a schedule very reminiscent of Michigan's schedule, outside of course, they beat Kentucky, that was ranked at the time. But yeah, so I don't understand that part of it, but the rest of it I'm okay with.
Yeah, Ohio State being number 1. I've got a thing where I believe that Ohio State's the most coddled football program in the country. And if they're at number 1 right now, which in some senses, like I said, I understand it, but in other senses, you're going to win out because your remaining schedule is Rutgers, Minnesota, and Michigan State. And then before the game, And so you're going to go into that game undefeated. And then it basically sets them up to where if they lose in Ann Arbor, they'll still be in. So it kind of keeps them in and it guarantees that they're still in here. So that one kind of bothers me. But I get what you're saying, man. I think Florida State, you know, with the graphic that we saw was that Georgia had the 110th strength of schedule. Right. Michigan was 115th. I don't remember seeing Florida State's SOS, but I would assume it's higher. And so
I feel like they did that on purpose because there's no reason to keep the fourth team in the 14 playoff if it were to happen today out of that graphic, right? They only showed those 3 teams and they didn't show Florida State because they know that SOS would, you know, raise some question as to why they are behind Georgia. That's my theory anyway. Yeah. But I'm with you on it setting the other state up. By the way, if you're here, be sure to like and share the stream. Leave your comments in the comment section. I will try to get to everyone's comments, but we do have a lot of show to cover. But yeah, be sure to like and share the stream. That said, Florida State, you know, it's all going to work itself out. If all 4 of these teams win out, then although Ohio State and Michigan have to see each other, so there's that. But that gives credence to what Bryce is saying about them coddling the other state for a potential loss to Michigan that they can then say, oh, well, they lost to Michigan and they're probably still the 4th best team in college football. Here's my guy Ryan arriving on CP time, and he's not the CP.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to that.
It's all right.
What's up, man? Hey, Ryan. In a minute. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Bryce? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Absolutely. Ryan, really quickly, give your thoughts on the college football playoff
rankings
before we move
on. CFP cheating us. I like
that. Like you get besides Ohio State, everyone else gets you know, a reward for playing a terrible schedule. So that's just trash. If you're going to give Ohio State the first spot, which is well deserved, you need to get Florida State at 2. If Georgia has no business being 2, and neither does Michigan, they should be 3 and 4 because they haven't played nobody with a pulse. Louisville, LSU, and Mizzou have no business being ranked ahead of Notre Dame. I don't care that Louisville beat us. That was a fluke. That game proved to be a fluke because you can't just go on the road, or not on the road, but you play Ohio State, lose in the way we lost, play Duke with a healthy Riley Leonard on the road, you know, have an emotional win like that, then like get up and be like, man, we got to play Louisville.
An emotional.
And we got USC next week. Who the hell is Louisville?
3 night games. 3 night games.
4 night games in a row. 4.
Yeah, that's
crazy because normally those 2 teams aren't teams you look at on the schedule and think, that's a W. When we're looking at the win total, we're going to count those as W's. And this year so happens that they're in their own sense wagons.
Well, for whatever reason, our AD was like, bye week? Nah. We're not going to have a bye week until after we get through the gauntlet of 4 ranked teams. Like that, I honestly feel like what we should have had was Ohio State, because Ohio State had their bye week right after the Notre Dame game, which I'm sure helped Ohio State tremendously. And Notre Dame should have had a bye week after that Ohio State game, just to kind of reset, get healthy, and, you know, get their mind right. And then I feel like that schedule, but now I got Garrison. If you go on my mentions, man, I got Louisville fans like all over my butt right now. Talking about, well, we beat you. I'm like, bro, you lost to Pitt by 17. Shut up.
Hold on.
You lost to Pitt. What'd you guys do to Pitt?
Huh? What'd you say, Garrison?
What'd you guys do to Pitt? Remind me.
We beat them by 51.
Did you guys play Pitt?
Yeah, we played Pitt. We dropped a 50 burger on them.
All right, so look, we gotta move forward. Here's the thing. I find it hilarious that the other state and Notre Dame fans are coddling each other, right? You've got. Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's good.
All right, cool. Buckeye fans, Irish fans are coddling each other in the comment section. Everybody's like, oh, Notre Dame's underrated. And those are Buckeye fans, by the way. And then, of course, Ryan is the biggest cheerleader for the other state right now at number 1. Although it really doesn't matter for Notre Dame because they have 2 losses. They're not making the playoff. I just don't understand it. But I digress. We move
Which is
on.
crazy because we're a playoff team. We are a playoff team. I feel like I'm legit like Garrison. I don't know how you feel. Bryce, I don't know how you feel. I know where Phil stands on this. Phil thinks that every team ranked above Notre Dame would beat Notre Dame and it wouldn't be close.
That's not what I said. Don't do that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No. Lucas said that. Lucas said that.
I Notre Dame. Let me tell you right now. I don't care if it's Georgia. I don't care if it's Michigan.
All right. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you in a second because that's a ridiculous statement. You're about to say something.
No, I'm not saying we would
crazy.
beat them, but I'm saying it would be a game. It would be a game.
All right, we're moving. It wouldn't be a game. We're moving on.
Jim
Harbaugh, according to reports from yesterday, they are fast tracking Jim Harbaugh's contract situation. Now, there have been some more revelations today that could, slow that down, maybe potentially. But it is thought that he will be the highest paid coach in the Big Ten. Really quickly, guys, let's start with Ryan. What are your thoughts? Should he be? Should that happen?
Depending on what happens with the stuff, I don't know. Because my thing is like, does the money matter? Because I think Harbaugh, we've seen it the last 2 years, his mind's set on returning to the NFL. So whether that's the end of this year, next year, the year after that, I think it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Harbaugh leaves Michigan in the dust for the NFL because he's tried doing it the last 2 years, which you can vouch for, Phil, has really hurt your guys' recruiting because kids don't know, like, hey, this guy's going to still be here. So I don't know, like, it makes
signing a contract.
No, he deserves it. I'm not saying that he deserves it, but I'm saying, like, it doesn't really matter because I don't think he's going to stay. I think he deserves to be the highest paid Big Ten coach because no other Big Ten coach has really done what he's done. Maybe Ryan Day comes a little close, but still, like, James Franklin is, like we talked about last night. We I don't know. Did you tell them what our analogy was for James Franklin on the show last night?
I did. I have not. No.
That Brian Kelly of the Big Ten, where he'll go like 10-2 every year, maybe 11-1, but won't win anything.
That's disrespectful to Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
I think it's disrespectful to Brian Kelly too. I tell Brian he disrespects Brian Kelly all the time.
Trash coach. Trash.
But Garrison, what are your thoughts? Should he be? Will he be?
Before we even get to that, when you say Brian Kelly's name, you be sure to call him one of the greatest coaches of all time, the greatest D2 coach of all time, and he created the greatest football dynasty in D2 in Grand Valley State here in West Michigan.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Facts.
So does
if
he
he coached
it?
for you, Garrison,
yeah,
you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that. I'm telling you.
I don't know. we get better. We get better talent than you do. So I think that he deserves it. Now, I mean, when you say you don't know if he's done, there's been no other Big Ten coach that's done what he's done. Let's not forget. In the time span that Ryan Day has been at Ohio State, he's accomplished more than Jim Harbaugh has in his tenure at Michigan. That's fact. That's the end you know. That's fact.
Oh my
God.
So annoying.
Let's not let me know when your coach gets to a natty. So that's or wins a playoff game. I'm sorry, gets to lead in the playoff. So that. But with that being said, I do believe at this juncture he deserves to be the highest paid coach in the Big Ten. I think that especially over the last 2 years, he has put himself in that position. So I mean, yeah, that's all. But I think there will be some language in that contract about this situation.
Absolutely.
Mello is going in on you right now.
Bryce, same question to you.
Yeah, I'd say three things. Well, first is I think he does deserve to be the highest paid coach. That's a number that can change every single year depending on who comes in, right? If Michigan State brings in Urban Meyer he'll be the highest paid coach. They'll foot the bill for that. So I think, for now that makes sense. I think with the three things though, with the whole contract thing is, one, you had to stop the negotiations. Like, it's clear by now that they didn't rescind the offer; they just halted the negotiations. So that was blown out of proportion. You have to do that. And I think Garrison's right. I think there will be language now that if something does happen, there will be an out or a clause that lets Michigan get out of that, or whatever it may be. I also think that Michigan has to know by now everything that's happened. Like, they just have to. They have to know all the details, and you just have to imagine that they're willing to risk it, knowing all the details, and just while they risk it, just a massive middle finger to the NCAA, which makes me so happy.
Dude, the real question is, does we give Connor Stallions an extension, because that dude is like a god at this point. This dude's got like what do you call it? Doppelganger power somehow. Dude, this is like that dude's at every game, all day, every week.
What I like about Connor Stallions is that every day is Halloween for him. Because
Dude,
that is him at that CMU game. He's got the mustache going.
Yeah.
Bro, what's hilarious is like the dude, like obviously what he's doing is against the rules, but the fact the dude is like so dedicated to it, had a manifesto to it, like 300-page manifesto. Like, this dude, like, at some point, like, slow clap it for my man Connor Stallions. This dude put in the work. He even went to the Naval Academy instead of the University of Michigan for school because they thought it would help him in his quest to take over the Michigan football program.
Man. He's like the brain out here, right?
Phil, do you, as a Michigan fan, do you like that guys like Dave Portnoy are their own voices for Michigan? Because he came out and it's like, Connor's got a full-time job waiting for him at Barstool.
Did you see the?
I love it, bro.
Phil, did you see the Liberty coach? He posted a picture of 2 Michigan fans that were at the Liberty game for whatever reason, and he's like, "Bro, this is a little sus. Why we got Michigan fans at a Liberty football game?" And then Luke is like, "Well, they could be a potential CFP opponent."
That's good.
The last thing I'll say too is, do we at all think that Jimmy is going to stick around because he wants to stick it to the NCAA? Kind of a wild thought, but
heck no.
I think he leaves just more of like I'm tired and I'm annoyed of college football and the NCAA.
I think that happens. I think what Ryan said happens, especially if any punishment is levied. And at this point, it's unlikely that no punishment is levied. So that's something to think about. To Toast, anytime, man. You're welcome here anytime we have.
It's been a minute since I talked to Toast.
What's up, bro?
What's
up, Toast? Hey, add him to my list of Michigan fans.
This one really quick. If you guys don't have 5 that you feel bad for, right? So it's back up to 6, or
it's back up to 6.
Heisman top 5. If you guys don't have 5, that's fine. Just 5. Give me a top 3. Let's do top 3 if you don't have 5. I'll start with you, Ryan, since you have 5. Go ahead.
Michael Penix Jr. is number 1 still. I don't care that he struggled the last 2 weeks. The dude is the best quarterback right now in college football. Don't care about what Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has looked trash against the 2 good defenses he played. Caleb Williams to me is out of the running. I don't even care if he goes out there and beats Washington and Oregon. You can't go play like an elite defense in Notre Dame and then get beat by 28 points. You just can't, and then still win the Heisman. Number 2, I got MHJ. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. at 2 because he's still been lighting it up. Besides the Notre Dame game,
what?
I believe, yeah, dude, I believe besides the Notre Dame game, Marvin Harrison has had like 100-yard games every other game, something like that.
Bro, the meat hugging you're doing.
He's only had 2 games under 100.
Is legendary,
dude. He's the best receiver in college football. What are you talking about?
Keep talking, Ryan.
He is the best receiver in college football. But you're doing a lot of other state meat hugging. But go ahead.
Number 3, I got Bo Nix, especially what he did to Utah. I think if he gets to the Pac-12 title, which I think Oregon does, and I think they get the revenge against Washington, I think that he secures that'll be his Heisman to lose at that point. Number 4, that's where it gets kind of tough. I guess I'll put Romeo Odunze in there, second best receiver in college football. And then number 5, I'm going to put Jordan Travis because dude still has arguably the best Heisman moment of anybody on this list. His performance against LSU, which is just looking even better and better and better as the weeks go on. So, yeah. Just all right. Do not have JJ McCarthy in there because the dude has not looked like he's good, but he's not looked like when you watch Michael Penix play and you watch JJ McCarthy play, it's a big difference. Like he's just not flashing.
In what attempts?
No. JJ McCarthy just screams like he's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback in college football.
That's something crazy.
Dude, no, seriously.
He's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Wild.
Dude, no, like Michael
This
Penix.
is the wildest take
There's
you may
tiers
have
to this.
ever
There's
said.
Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, and then there's everybody else. Like that's how that works.
Who's better, Drake May or JJ?
Drake May. JJ has better weapons around him.
Drake, man.
Hey, yo, cut your mic off. I want. All right. I'm sorry. Ryan is upsetting. This is upsetting. Bryce, who are your Heisman favorites?
All right, so I look at the Heisman and I look at the best player on one of the best teams. So I feel like I hear Jaden Daniels' names a lot. LSU is good. They're not one of the best teams. So I'm saying something right when Garrison drops the headphones. Let me go number 1. I'm going with JJ.
Yeah.
Best teams. He commands the offense. He plays 4 quarters, 1 game. Give me JJ. Second, give me Penix. I think he lights it up. I think that offense is awesome. I think it's conducive to winning the Heisman. 3, I think it's close third. Give me Bo. I hate to agree with Garrison. I think that offense, I think the Ducks are for real. It's a weird game in Seattle. I think they're for real. I think he's leading the charge. And again, he's in that friendly offense too. 4, give me Maserati Marv. He's the best player on that team. Kyle McCord is Cade McNamara without him. And that just shows that productivity and shows the numbers there.
That's disrespectful to Kyle McCord.
No, it's not.
Cade McNamara out here looking trash for Iowa. But
Cade McNamara is the check down king. That's what Kyle McCord is without 18.
Disgusting.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't really have a 5th, so I'm gonna stay with 4. Top 4.
Hey, don't blame
Cool.
me.
My mute button don't work.
Garrison, go ahead. That was for you, Ryan, by the way.
No, I know.
All right.
So at number 1, I have Bo. I'm a believer in that guy. I think he's been playing really well, playing great this year. Even like I said, I do believe he outplayed Penix when they played each other. I think a few dumb decisions by his coach lost him that game. So I have him there at 1. I had Penix at 1, dropped him down for 2 because you can't look like that for 2 weeks straight. 1 week, I can forgive you for that. 2 weeks, Number 3, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, Phil, I just want to read this off to you. You know, this right here is what we call a game log.
Let's do it.
These are his last 4 games.
Yeah.
8 for 163 and a touchdown, 6 for 105 and a touchdown, 11 for 162 and a touchdown. Then last week, 6 for 123 and 2 touchdowns. Without those 2 touchdowns, that brings the score down to 10-10 against Wisconsin. That guy, and I had some people say, "Well, what about Roma?" No, listen, Roma can get hurt, come out the game, and Michael Penix can still lead that offense. Marv,
what about
is the
Ibuka?
Scheme at Ohio State.
What about Ibuka?
He hasn't been playing.
He's hurt. He's been hurt for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You know what?
You make a good point. I didn't even add that.
Right.
Marvin Harrison Jr. If he's not, you take him off of Ohio State's roster. I don't know if Ohio State first of all, they probably don't win that Notre Dame game because, while he wasn't as productive against Notre Dame, because he was even on the field was the reason Ibuka was as open as he was every single play.
Wow.
So
this guy
no,
here
dude, seriously.
is a special case. No. I'm not disagreeing with you. First of all, you just hijacked Garrison's Heisman picks. But secondly,
I was just agreeing.
That is the take that I gave you guys on your show about him. But all right, go ahead, Garrison.
All right, number 4, I have Jaden Daniels, and I'm gonna get killed for this. And number 5, I have Travis. Now, it's a reason for this. I do understand that he has Malik Neighbors. I listen, man. I see what Travis Hunter has on his team. He's got one of the best tight ends in the country. He's got 2 of the top 10 wide receivers, probably 2 of the top 15 wide receivers in the country, and who I think is actually number 2 wide receiver in the country. I think Keon Coleman is the second best wide receiver this year. You got one of the top 5 running backs in the nation. He's good, but I see what you have around you.
Yeah.
So, and I think that Jaden Daniels is having to scratch and claw for these wins because his defense is garbage. So, those are my 5.
Oh wow! Breaking news: if this is true, Bobby Knight, legendary Indiana basketball coach, has passed away. Man, R.I.P. to Bobby Knight. Obviously, condolences to his family. It's a big loss.
Sure.
Yeah. So really quickly, I'll give you mine. I got JJ at number 1. I got JJ at number 1 because my eyes don't lie. The stats don't lie either. And JJ has 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 fourth quarter passes all season, which leads me to believe if JJ was playing full games, that he would have stats similar to some of the other quarterbacks. That being said, JJ McCarthy is tied for the lead, I believe, in completion percentage. JJ McCarthy has thrown 20 touchdown passes. It's either 18 or 20. It's one of those, maybe 22. I could be wrong. It's one of those numbers though. He's got the 3 interceptions that he threw in the same game, by the way. JJ McCarthy, the fact
Do you hold that against him? Do you hold that against him, Phil?
You hold that against
the 3 interceptions?
You don't throw 3 picks against Bowling Green.
Do you?
Okay. That's fair. He had a bad game. But
what's his Heisman moment? Like, if he's going to be number 1, what's his Heisman moment?
His Heisman moment.
Don't say Rutgers. Don't say Rutgers. I swear to God.
No. His Heisman moment hasn't happened yet because he hasn't stumped the mud in the other state yet. However, being 8-0 is a Heisman moment.
No, it won't happen.
You don't get Heisman moments against Bowling Green, UNLV, Rutgers.
Well, it's hard to get Heisman moments when you're completely obliterating the competition. And that won't change, by the way. So even against the other state on the 25th, when we win by multiple scores, and you say, "Oh, well, you don't get." Will you say you don't get?
Heisman I'll give him a Heisman moment.
Okay, all right, cool.
But he better not lean on Blake Corum for like 200 yards rushing in that game.
Okay, if I can get through my list, please. JJ, I got Michael Penix Jr. because he did the thing. He beat Bo Nix in the battle of grandfathers in college, still playing college football. Number 3, Bo Nix. Number 4, I have Travis Hunter because he is leading that Florida State team. I agree, though. He does have
Travis Hunter
plethora. I'm sorry.
Who?
Travis
Jordan
Hunter.
Travis. My apologies. My apologies.
Yeah.
Jordan Travis. Definitely not Travis Hunter. Not Travis Hunter. Jordan Travis, because he is leading that team that is undefeated. They do have a plethora of weapons, though, as people have pointed out. And then I'm going to round that out with Marvin Harrison Jr. In fact, I'll flip Marvin Harrison with Jordan Travis because I do think Marvin Harrison is that important to the other state's offense. So that is my top 5 Heismans. Let us know in the comment section what you have. There are 21 people in here. We don't have that many likes. Let's get those likes up. Make sure you share this live. Thank you. Moving on. We have top 25 pick'ems. It's a short list, just of ranked games, and of course the other state, Notre Dame and Michigan. So we'll do it this way. We'll start with Bryce, go down to Garrison, end it with my guy Ryan, and then me. All right, let's do it. Number 3, K-State is on the road at number 7, Texas. Texas is a 4-point favorite. Bryce, how do you see this one?
Ewers is still out. That game's at Texas, right?
Yep.
At Texas.
I put a lot down on Kansas State against Missouri earlier this year, and they let me down, so I'm still a little heartbroken from them. So give me the Horns -4.
Okay. Garrison?
This was actually this is me on me and Bryce's show tomorrow. Hey, listen, give me K-State +4 and the dub.
That money line action.
Yeah. So if you watch that Texas BYU game, that game was a lot closer than the final score indicated. Texas was actually pretty awful to watch on offense. Their defense just like shut down Keaton Slovis. I think Kansas State's a hell of a lot better on defense than BYU, and they got a better quarterback in Will Howard. So I think Kansas State wins. I think this is the game where it cost Texas, not having Quinn Ewers cost Texas.
Absolutely.
I mainly just want to see Kansas and Oklahoma play in the Big 12 title. I want that to happen so bad.
I'm taking K-State in this one too because of the backup quarterback and because Texas has been a little shaky. They've had moments, like you pointed out, BYU, that score isn't indicative of the game. They needed a very friendly spot from the referees against Houston to get out of that. And so I'm going to pick K-State outright for this one. Moving on. Number 12, Missouri at number 2, Georgia. Georgia is a 15.5-point favorite. Bryce, how do you see this one?
So I know Mizzou gave them a challenge last year, and that was the point of the season when everyone thought, oh, Georgia's not for real this year. And then we saw what happened. This game is either going to be Mizzou covering the spread or it's going to be Georgia winning by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm going to just chase the money here. Give me Mizzou plus the points. I'm gonna hate that. I'm gonna be wrong. I know, but we're just gonna chase it.
Garrison.
Give me Georgia to win. I actually also did take the over on 15.5. So I think it'll be a good game for a while. And I think towards the end, Georgia will take away and blow them out.
Okay. Ryan, by the way, Ryan has Missouri winning the SEC. So this is an important game for Ryan. How do you see this one playing out?
So my hot take is still going to come to fruition because this hot take was made 3 weeks ago. After
you picked Missouri?
Yeah, before they played LSU. Because for one, Kentucky sucks. Tennessee's garbage. Georgia has looked shaky against at times this year. And Missouri's offense will be the best offense Georgia's faced to this point. And the reason why Kentucky got killed by Georgia, the reason Florida got killed by Georgia is because their play styles feed into Georgia and what they want to do on defense. You can't run the ball against Georgia and expect to win. You have to be able to pass the ball. Brady Cook is a good enough quarterback to light up this Georgia secondary, especially with Luther Burden. I think Missouri gets it done in Athens. I think this week's really filled with a lot of upsets. We get that
Missouri wins.
Week. Yeah, Missouri wins. I think they win by 10.
All right. I'm going to say that Georgia wins and covers this spread. I think Georgia has played up and down to competition, especially when the media pitch has been, or, the fervor has been that they could lose. Then they go out and stomp the opponents out. So
Justin said Mizzou will lead at halftime.
I saw that.
That's what Georgia. That's what Georgia typically does to teams. They give them false hope at halftime.
Yeah. Number 9, Oklahoma. At number 22, OK State. OU is a 6-point favorite in this one on the road. Bryce, what do you see?
Give me Oklahoma getting right in Bedlam. I think they bounce back, lick their wounds, fix the mistakes, and bounce back for the last Bedlam we're gonna get for the foreseeable future, which is heartbreaking.
Wow, that's sad.
Garrison.
I'm right in step with Bryce. Give me Oklahoma. I think they're gonna beat the. I'm gonna be nice. They're gonna beat the brakes off of them. I don't think it's gonna be close at all. I think they're playing really good football right now, but I do think Oklahoma has a really good defense.
Yeah.
I know football math doesn't always translate, but I'm gonna do my thing here. Kansas beat Oklahoma. Kansas lost to Oklahoma State. Therefore, Oklahoma State is going to beat Oklahoma at home. And it's like a 2:30 game, so it's kind of a night game. Like it'll be dark in Oklahoma. It's like the end of that game. So for that reason, give me the Cowboys.
All right. I'm going to ride with Bryce and Garrison on this one. I think Oklahoma rights the ship, and they win this game and cover that 6-point spread. Number 14, LSU is on the road at number 8, Alabama. Bama is a 3-point favorite. So this is basically a push if Bama wasn't at home. Bryce, how do you see this going?
LSU has beaten Alabama twice since 2012. One of those years was the national championship year, which had arguably the greatest offense ever to play, maybe the greatest team ever to line up on the field. And then last year took a 2-point conversion win. My original pick was LSU plus the points, but looking at those numbers, Saban's still there. I think Milrose getting right. I think the offense is figuring it out. Give me the Tide -3.
Buckeye Garrison.
I haven't given this game much thought this week. I'm not a Milroe believer. I trust the talent at LSU right now more than I trust the talent at Alabama. LSU is going to win this game. LSU is going to win this game.
I am with you. Ryan is doing some home things, so I'll go.
Yeah, no, I got it.
I'm
back now.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, my daughter was like bugging me. She wants me to give her like a braiding session of her hair, so I'm like, doing my show. Come on now, get it.
Come on, that's cute, man.
Great hair, man.
What's up?
That's cool.
That's what's up, bro.
I'm taking the Tide in this one big by all the points. They blow out LSU because their defense, LSU's defense is atrocious. It is personal. And I think Alabama, they've had this game circled on their schedule since last year. That game was a fluke. Alabama should have won that game. Brian Kelly cannot win top 10 games. So, yeah. He can take his family back to Louisiana after this one.
Him and his family. That's cool. So I have LSU winning this game outright. It could be because in my parlays I took a couple upsets. This happens to be one, and I could be $14,000 richer after this. So that may be the reason. But I do believe in Jaden Daniels. I think he is right at the top of the list of the best college quarterbacks. However, he's lost 2 games. The only reason he wasn't in my Heisman top 5. But yeah, I got LSU taking this in Alabama. Number 5, Washington is on the road at number 20, according to the CFP. USC. Washington only a 3-point favorite here, guys. Bryce, what do you see happening?
I don't get this line. So Washington came off the big win against Oregon and then didn't look good the last 2 weeks against inferior opponents. And then you've gotten a USC team that's just beaten up and their season's essentially over them compared to what their goals were. So 3 points at home, if we go logic, I guess it's the opposite. So I don't know. All that to say, I think USC gets right here. I'm going to take
Okay.
USC plus points.
That is shocking a little. Garrison, what do you think?
Lock me in. USC.
Oh,
Really?
Garrison, I gotta
Right,
block you on Twitter now, man. I gotta block you on Twitter now. Man.
I think Bryce. Oh, listen. As much as I hate, I don't know if you weren't here yet, but as much as I hate them being in the top 25, I think Bryce, you might have said this to me. I think Washington beat. I think USC is going to beat them.
All right, Ryan.
I can't believe you guys trust that defense. Washington is probably going to put up 80.
I don't
on that defense. If Arizona can put up 43, like Washington is going to utterly dismantle. Actually, Lincoln Riley might just be like, "Man, I'm going to the NFL after this game. It is going to be bad."
Like, I think the transitive property Olympics, and Ryan is going for the gold.
Dude, they have statistically the worst defense in college football, only in front of Colorado. That's how bad USC's defense is. Like Washington is going to eat that up. I think Washington.
A blind squirrel get a blind. Hey man, even a blind squirrel can find a nut.
It's so sad because they have so much talent on that defense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with I think Washington wins this game. Oh man, 752 says Garrison super happy right now.
Oh, that's Connor. What's up, Connor?
Is that Connor?
Yeah, what's up, Connor?
Okay, all right. Oh, that is Connor. That's
host of the Week 0 podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Connor and Week 0. Be sure to give them a follow or a subscription as well. I am going to pick Washington to win this game. I think Washington wins this game by multiple scores. I could be wrong. I doubt it. We move on. Number 1, the other state Buckeyes are in New Jersey to take on Rutgers. They are 18.5-point favorites. Bryce, how do you see this one?
It's a lot of points. A lot of points for an offense that hasn't proven itself yet.
Rutgers has score 18 points, right?
Yep. Rutgers has a decent defense. If Wimsatt can make some of the throws we've seen him make and not turn the ball over, we're in for a treat. Give me the Scarlet Knights. Dogs.
Outright?
No. No. That'd be a hot take.
He ain't that stupid.
I was gonna say
no. Plus 18.
Having the courage of your convictions. All right, Garrison, go ahead.
Oh man. Yeah, like Bryce and I talked about it earlier. That it's one of the best pass defenses in the nation. It's not that great on the run, but give me Ohio State outright. I think they win this by 17.
I think Ohio State blows Rutgers out. I don't think it's close. Michigan State should have beat Rutgers. They were up like 24-6 in the fourth quarter, and Michigan State just like absolutely fell apart. Ohio State's not Michigan State. So Rutgers, like I said, Ohio State's offense isn't that good, but Rutgers would be lucky to get 7 points.
All right. I think Ohio State wins the game, obviously. It is Rutgers at the end of the day, although they are improving. I got to give Greg Schiano some credit. He's done a pretty decent job there. They're top 10 or just outside the top 10 now defense in all of college football. So I think they covered this spread. I think part of the reason they covered this spread is because the other state's going to struggle to score 18 points. I just don't know if they have it in them. So there's that. But give me Rutgers in the points.
Rutgers, if they were in the Big Ten West, they might they'd be leading the Big Ten West right now.
They lost Wisconsin.
They'll win it.
Number 15, Notre Dame. Number 15, Notre Dame at Clemson. Notre Dame is a 3-point favorite in this one. We'll save Ryan for last. Bryce, go ahead.
This is my lock of the week, if you will.
Okay.
Notre Dame -3.
All right. Garrison?
Like I'm with Brian. I think they're about to hammer them. I think they're gonna kill them.
All right. I will go ahead. I think Clemson wins this game. Part of that too is $14,000 on my parlay. Clemson wins this game. Dabo redeems himself. He calls that fan up personally, tells him to kiss his you know what. And Clemson wins. Ryan, go ahead.
You sure about that? They're not going to have Will Shipley for this game.
Will Shipley.
Cade Klubnik is hurt.
Clemson by 20.
You're smoking that good over there in Wolverine land, huh? Notre Dame's going to absolutely drag Clemson in Death Valley, especially without Will Shipley, who is their only form of offense. And I believe they're without their top receiver, Antoine Williams, I think. And Cade Klubnik is also injured. He's like a day-to-day situation.
Hopefully he doesn't.
All of those,
they might have better chance.
Probably. I know Clemson. It's at Clemson, but it's not at night, so it's not really scary. I think Notre Dame beats them by like 28, like they did last year.
Come on, bro.
Dude, Clemson's not that good. They have one of the worst offenses besides Iowa in college football.
Okay. That's fair. So
that's a 4-4 team, Bill. That's a 4-4 team.
No, they are, but Notre Dame just is not that great. But dude, I digress. I'm not trying to get into this Notre Dame argument, and I get that Notre Dame winning that game helps your case, Garrison, and I also get that, Ryan has Stockholm.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The other state, and they haven't won since
World
War II.
Me and Garrison,
you beat him into submission in a way. So now he just roots for you secondarily.
See, you're out here spreading false narratives. Me and Garrison, we played each other. That game came down to the wire, and anybody could have won that game. So we have mutual respect. We just don't have respect for the Wolverines in the blue and yellow. So
that's not yellow. That's not yellow.
Calling it yellow.
Don't disrespect us that way. That is Maize.
It's a variant.
Just like Scarlet is red.
Bro, it's got to be pruned. Get rid of it.
But anyway, we are down to the last pick 'em. I'm gonna save Bryce for last on this one. Garrison started off. Purdue is at number 3, Michigan. Michigan are 32.5 point favorites.
Yeah, it's at night, right?
7:30.
This is
Eastern.
at night. Yes.
Wolverines by 100. Wolverines by 100. That's
why the hell is
the
this?
bad football team, bro.
Why?
And Bryce has held me accountable.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Bryce has held me accountable because beginning of the season, I was a believer in Purdue, and I was a believer in Hudson Card. I was wrong. Wrong. So,
I think it's hilarious that Michigan saved their night game for mighty Purdue.
We didn't.
No, I know, but that's such a way you can switch it at any time. Like teams do it all the time.
Well, the networks have this control now. But go ahead.
But why the hell? If I'm
continue to be wrong,
I go through the schedule. I'm like, man, I'm going to make Purdue at Michigan Big Ten Saturday night. Why?
Well, it's because Fox snatched up all the good Michigan games. But go ahead.
Anyway, Michigan by a milli. It's Purdue team. Typically they're
all the games.
No, typically Purdue is one of those teams that's if they're playing a top 10 team, always hammer Purdue because they always somehow one time a year they upset a top 10 team for no forsaken reason. It's not happening. This Purdue team's trash. Jeff Brom is in Louisville. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be hard for teams to score points against Michigan for the remainder of the season. That includes that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus when they make the trip to A2. I would be surprised if they score more than 10 points. But I digress. I'm not even going to get down. I'm not going to do that right now. Purdue may not score. Purdue may not score in this game. Michigan covers this spread. Bryce, what do you see happening?
Yeah, well said, gentlemen. I don't think it matters who Michigan is.
How do
playing
we take a
this
jab in that?
week. What?
He said, "How did they take a jab?"
How do we take a jab in that? We're talking about Purdue.
I don't think it matters who Michigan's playing this week. Take out the Bucks, Penn State, the other top tier teams, whatever. These mid-level, low-level teams. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Michigan, the last 4 games have covered that spread, and I think you're going to get just a pissed off us against the world mentality. I think Jim's got the boys focused, locked in, and yeah, if we're not at 32 by halftime, I'll be surprised.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Last segment of the show today, hot takes. Ryan, I'm going to start with you. I know you are a master of hot takes. In fact, everything you've said on this show today has been a hot take. So hit us one more time with another one.
Michigan will lose to Maryland and Ohio State this year. And Notre Dame.
That right there is the mute button on Ryan.
My man.
Hey, that's disrespectful. I wasn't finished. Hey, Notre Dame plays Michigan in an NY6 bowl, and we blast y'all.
Hey man, by the way, Notre Dame. I don't know if you guys saw this today. Notre Dame is slated to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Dude, that's because of where they had us ranked. The AP poll had us right. We're supposed to be at 12.
Notre Dame. Who are you supposed to face in the Pop-Tart Bowl? It was
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State in the Pop-Tart Bowl is where.
Dude, we're not finished. When we beat Clemson, we'll be in that top 12. We better be.
Because
you who wouldn't lose the Pop-Tart Bowl? Brian Kelly ain't losing the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Exactly.
And Marcus Freeman don't lose those no-name bowl games either. He's undefeated in those.
Cool story, bro. Garrison, what is your hot take?
Hey, can't beat us. All right. So I know I have LSU beating Alabama, but with that said, I told Bryce this beginning of the year, I have Alabama win the SEC this year. I think they're gonna play very desperate. I think LSU's gonna lose another game first off, and then I think Alabama's gonna get there. I think they're gonna play very desperate against Georgia, like they did a few years back, was it 2021, and win it. And then I think Georgia still makes it in as probably the 4th seed or 4th seed.
That's a hot take. Bryce, what do you have?
I had this take at the beginning of the season, and I said that either Roman Wilson or Cornelius Johnson will be a round 1 or 2 draft pick. Ain't gonna be Kojo this year. Roman Wilson, round 1 or 2 draft pick.
I like that. That is a good hot take, actually. I respect that. My hot take. I think I've kind of given it away.
I hate this take so much. I hate this take so much.
My Purdue take. My hot take is that Michigan destroys the other state 3 years in a row. The other state doesn't score more than 10 points in that game because they are a vile, disgusting, cesspool-ridden football team that is massively overrated this season.
Okay.
Of the
Somebody
two
cut
teams,
Phil's mic.
Michigan is the only one that got better. The other state has gotten worse.
Put 50 on it. Put 50 on it, Phil. Put 50 on it, Phil. Now you got me here.
We can do it right now. $50 right now. Right now on that game.
Do it.
I'm down for that.
That we don't get past 10 points. No, that we don't get past 10 points.
Oh, so you're not betting that you guys win the game?
10 points.
10 points.
Garrison, I got.
No, you said 10 points.
No, I need more if you guys don't get 10 points.
You mean to tell me I got more faith in you guys beating Michigan than you?
Yes, because you have Stockholm.
No, but that's
no,
you so badly and so
I can't do
much.
that 10 points thing.
10 points, man. You guys
I'm telling you, bro. Michigan is overrated because they haven't played nobody.
Yeah. Afterwards, obviously, Michigan goes to the CFP where they continue to dominate. Maybe the other state gets in there.
Who are you going to play in the CFP?
The second time in a row. But anyway, Michigan wins that natty. All's good.
Stop it, Phil. Stop it. World. Stop the cap.
Okay, so Ryan, I need to really quick before we get out of here because I have to address Ryan really fast. Ryan, do you think that Michigan is not a championship caliber team?
No, I have not seen anything. Okay. They've done what they're supposed to against bad teams. That's the only thing I think they get credit for. Like, my thing is I'm the type of person, I'm a college football fan that I value strength of schedule and beating top 25 teams.
We don't need a soliloquy though. So here's the thing. Is Michigan better than they were last season?
I don't know. They haven't played anybody.
I don't know.
Let them play.
I don't know.
Bryce, Garrison, they are the hosts of
your O-line doesn't look as good as last year. Your running game isn't as good.
Yeah. No, don't do this now. Don't.
You guys are like trying this mental Olympics thing. It's crazy.
What do you mean, Phil? Michigan fans do the same thing with. Well, we blew you guys out last year.
Your credibility. You tried your best to not include JJ McCarthy in your top 5. So much so that you went, and I'm talking about in your Heisman picks. So much so that who would you have at 5?
Jordan Travis.
And who was in Bo Nix? It was somebody in there that shouldn't be in there.
Romeo
Duze. There you go. That's a ridiculous take, by the way.
How is it?
He would be taking votes away from.
Did you
Michael
not see
Penix
what he did
Jr.
to Oregon? Did you not see what he did to Oregon?
I saw what he did. He's a great college wide receiver. That being said, his quarterback is going to take votes away from him, even if that were the case. But I digress, and we have to get out of here. These guys, Bryce, Garrison, thank you for joining the show. Be sure to subscribe to the Scarlet and Blue Show. I'm sorry, on YouTube. It is in the comment section. I'll try to get it back here up top, but it is youtube.com/@Scarlet Blue Show. Be sure to give those guys a follow. Bryce, before we get out of here, tell people where else they can find you or anything.
Yeah, Scarlet and Blue Show. Subscribe, YouTube. We're on Twitter as well, or X as the kids are calling it nowadays. Garrison's crushing that page, so give us a follow. We'll argue about something, and yeah, man, really appreciate having on. This is a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. The week of the game, obviously, we got to do this again. Garrison, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Man, you can find me at _Mr. Morals 44. Then of course I'll also be on Scarlet Blue Show Twitter. Also, you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook. We'll be on there here and there. Just come follow the show, man. We drop on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll love to have you watch.
Absolutely. And Ryan, of course, tell the people what you got going on.
You can find me on Twitter at @Fravel_Ryan. I don't know if you want to argue about stuff, we can get into it. I don't know if I'll find you though at like millions of DMs and mentions I'm getting from Louisville fans right now, but I'm like, bro, dude. Anyway, and to go over to Week 0 Productions, we'll be live tomorrow doing our complete Week 10 breakdown, giving our picks for every big game. Phil will be there, so make sure you guys tune in. But yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Until next time, be sure to follow me everywhere, by the way, @Maize Madman. That's on everything. And until next time, stay